Welcome back to Chris and Retro and happy Thanksgiving 2024. A lot of messages out there, things of gratitude and stuff like that. And I definitely co-sign that. There's a lot of stuff I have in my life to be grateful for. And in fact, in my journal that I've talked about a lot on the show is I make sure that every single day I mention the things that I'm thankful for, because there's a lot of times we go through seasons in life where we really just don't see that we do have things to be grateful for. So, I'm going to do this short video today in the hopes to encourage you that no matter where you are at right now, there's plenty to be thankful for. As we talk about on the show, your high risk living total collapse is closer than you think it is. But at the same time, hope is also closer than you think it is. No matter how things are going right now for you in your life, and maybe overwhelming, or maybe you aren't even started your journey of recovery, or life hasn't really shown any indication that's going to improve. Evidence in my life and evidence of many other people I talk to, life's can improve. It starts with a few small moves today and a few small adjustments. I'll try to collect a few things here today. I'm going to share with you a few things that really I've seen over the last 24 hours that really meant something to me. And, as I look at my own journey, Thanksgiving has a lot of really important elements to it. And, for my own journey, I had a real crossroads on Thanksgiving, incarcerated in 2017, where I've talked about it before. And it's actually the opening line in my new book. It's, who knew a turkey could make you so sad? Being incarcerated around this time of year is awful. You really do start to realize, you miss family like crazy, but you also start to realize, some of the things that you've done, especially if addiction has got you there, that brought you there, or choices you made or whatever. And it can be a time where we really have a lot of guilt and regret. The fact is, as I was reading this morning in my morning study that I do to get the day started, to connect spiritually with my life, it reminded me that these tough times show me exactly where to look for my gratitude and where my strength comes from when I don't have any in me. And for me, it's God. And I find a lot of strength in that. And so these tough times really point me towards my strongest resources when I'm thinking more healthy. So if you're in a struggling place right now, many can be struggling through the holidays. And, I saw a video yesterday I'm going to share with you now. It's a real short clip. I think it was a reel on Instagram, but I'll share it with you. And I don't think I've ever seen a more vivid demonstration of what an alcoholic goes through when they've reached that crossroads where they just can't take it anymore. And with that, I'll share that with you now. Oh, sorry about the audio. I've done that exact thing. I did that with a bottle of bourbon one time. A little bottle of bourbon. I just couldn't take it. It wasn't at Thanksgiving, but it was in the fall, and actually in the summer. It was in the summer before I went into jail the last time, but we get to this place where we can't take it, but the draw of the substance is so strong, and yet this is maybe not rock bottom, but it is a point where you just can't take it anymore. And I can only imagine what this gentleman's thinking in this video. I'm not sure if it's a reenactment or if it's an actual video of him that he intentionally took, knowing that he was struggling, wanting to show people that struggle. A lot of times people have had longer term sobriety and then fall back off. They may want to show what it looks like, so to remind themselves and remind others not to go back. If you're in that situation today, I feel you. I've been a fellow traveler in that place, and I encourage you to let that bottle fall to the ground. It's never going to get easier. Whatever it is that's going through his head that's made him just make a decision, he just can't do this anymore, whether it's loss of relationships, loss of respect of his children and family, loss of a job, financial destruction, incarceration, things that you perceive to be stupid and embarrassing that have happened, and you directly attribute it to your drinking. You don't have to have all the answers right now. The reason the 12 steps are set the way they are is because that very first step, is, Sammy and I did on several episodes ago on step 1, that's a gulf of a decision. It's one of the biggest decisions you're making out of all of those other steps, is that launch into a place that you recognize that you're powerless. And I would say that powerlessness looks a lot of different ways. Sometimes it looks like you're in handcuffs. Sometimes it's sitting in a car or by yourself trying to deal with the fact that you have the alcohol that you so desire right in front of you. I think one of the hardest things for an alcoholic to do on day one is to dump his stash. It's easier if you have nothing to access. It's super hard when there's a bottle in your hand. You made the decision to dump out the very thing that you desire most in the world, to hide from the things that have all been caused by that drinking. And if you are an alcoholic, you know exactly what I just said. Today, I want to encourage you to be thankful for that. Be thankful for that moment. Be thankful for that pain. Your pain is a pathway to peace. Knowing that you fight those fights, and today is your day one. If it is Thanksgiving, or if whatever it is that you're struggling with, if today is the day that you made that choice to turn that corner, do it. Do it and don't look back. On the hard days, your gratitude comes from one place. Look to your higher power, even if you don't even understand all there is to know about who your higher power is. For me, I didn't know very much about God, but I'd heard a lot about him and I'd grown up around a church. But for me, God was the saving of me. And even in some of the poor decisions I made since then, I still have found a resurrection that happened because I turned this over to something beyond me, because my own decisions couldn't figure it out. And I can tell you, in the moment that was shown in this video, that's a battle. I'm sure we have wars and things that people do on the battlefield that are more noble. But from mental health perspective, what that gentleman just went through was incredibly difficult. I'm going to share with you something a little lighter on this, because there is victory and there is hope. Now, I'm a big Chicago Cubs fan. You guys all know it. I got a logo behind my back. I've shared a few things. I've wore Cubs hats on the show before. I love the Chicago Cubs. I have as a kid. The story behind that is that when I was a child, we had just got cable. I was living in a very rural area. We had cable. I was a very young kid. I played baseball my whole life, all the way up through college. I loved baseball so much, that and boxing and fighting, but baseball, they were equal to each other, and they played out equal in my life. I went on to be a fighter in a small promotion in Western New York. At the same time, I played baseball all the way through college, so it's been a big part of my life. The Chicago Cubs, I had two channels I could watch as a kid growing up to watch baseball. It was either WOR9 or WGN. My brother's wife at the time was from Staten Island. She's a big Mets fan, so I decided I was going to watch the Cubs. And the Chicago Cubs became my team. Well, that was talk about rooting for lovable losers. That's what they even been coined. The Cubs, it was 100 years before they even had a championship. They went through a lot as an organization. I realize our personal struggles are way worse than anything a baseball team could go through, or a professional baseball organization goes through. But you still recognize the fact that grind can last an awful long time. But in the picture I'm about to show you, victory is very sweet. And so this is when they won their World Series. And this is actually, I think, a walk-off home run. But either way, the victory, look at the fans, look at the team. This was shared by a childhood friend of mine this morning on Facebook. And I wanted to share this with you to show victory is unbelievably rewarding when you've gone through a long season of terrible, terrible circumstances. Baseball obviously is a minor, but victory is unbelievably powerful for all those around you when you do work through the fight. So you'll have those days where you have to struggle and dump that bottle. And you'll have those days of victory if you do. And they're powerful for every single person around you. I would encourage you on this Thanksgiving 2024, take a look at what's going on in your life. If you can stop those things that are self-destructing, please do. If you have moved beyond that and you're going through the grind of getting things back together, be grateful for the small things in your life. And if right now you can't think of anything grateful, I would encourage you before this video ends to find a piece of paper and a pen and write down at least one thing. Even if you don't feel incredibly grateful for it, at least recognize you have it despite every single thing. I appreciate you guys. I'm grateful for you as an audience. I'm thankful for this channel and victories I do have in my life, even though there are a lot of things that are not victorious right now. I am thankful for the victories, and I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for this show. I'm thankful for the victory my family is all having. Sam, my kids, others. I feel for their struggles. With my children have their struggles, and my grandkids, I'm sure, will have struggles. But I'm thankful for the victories they have, and I would encourage you to be thankful for the victories you've had as well. Have a great Thanksgiving. If you're eating today, eat a lot. If you're not eating today, chill out and watch football, or just hang out and go for a walk, whatever it is that you find comfort in. And if you're alone, don't isolate. There's a lot of families around that would really want support. One of my closest friends in the upstairs of his restaurant, he's having a little get together that isn't anything highfalutin. He's got a lot of people that are coming in there that don't have a lot. And it's just, he's just a good person that way. There's plenty of those programs out there if you really find yourself in a desperate situation to go just walk in and be part of something, a community. Guys, thank you so much for being part of my community here. Between now and the next time we talk, I'm going to do every single thing I can do to stay out of trouble. I'm going to be thankful today. I hope you stay out of trouble too.